There's that old chestnut or saying of nice women are never remembered. It's for a reason, like
Yes.
it's and it's not just women too. It's many, many groups, as you mentioned. I don't think Tanith did a great job with representation in terms of, ethnicity and race and things like that.
No,
However,
no.
really not. However, in terms of gender and queerness, she did quite a bit and quite a bit earlier than it was generally found. And I
Yes, very much so.
and I wonder if you noticed that as a difference when you were reading her, or if at what point you noticed that.
That came later for me too, because queerness was not something we were encouraged to talk about at St. John's United Methodist Church in Batesburg when I was an adolescent. Uh, um, much less at my high school, etc. Um, but I started meeting openly gay people of various genders when I was an undergrad, and then later as a newspaper reporter. Um, uh, I was part of a team covering the scourge of the AIDS epidemic in the 80s in Greensboro, North
Really?
Carolina, trying to make people realize that the these were human beings, these were families, these were, that this was something everybody should care about. And that was an uphill slog at the time.
Yeah.
Um, but we were doing what we could, and in the process, I was finding out a lot, and again, I was going back into uh, Tanith Lee and Theodore Sturgeon and other writers in the field that had been queering it for some time, and realized, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. But it was like Jess Salmonson. Jess Salmonson's two-volume edited edition of the works of the queer 19th century writer Fitzjames O'Brien, who died in the Civil War about 10 miles from where I'm sitting right now, killed in a skirmish. Uh, that was one of the texts that really made me think about, oh, there's a queer history in this field that goes back a long way. Um, and and uh, and Tanith was absolutely part of that. Um, what it fascinates me that the looks Tanith chose for herself, not just in that hallway in Baltimore at the con, but also her author photos and so forth. You go to the fan pages devoted to Tanith, and you see
There's one
the
behind me on my
presentation
screen.
there. Yes, you see the presentation. You see the eyeshadow. You see the um it is we understand that now in a way that people may not have so well understood in the 1970s and so forth. It just uh, and her writing is so visual, and her writing is so also sensuous in the orality of it, as I was just saying earlier. And that is so absolutely, that in itself is a queer move. It is not part of the just cut and dried, nuts and bolts, so-called hard SF, whatever that is. Just stick to the plot, give us another formula. That is so a very different. It's the approach of Catherine Moore and Ted Sturgeon and a lot of other people